Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Turning Pages. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Ocean.
And thank you so much for tuning in. So I know today was originally supposed to be a book review, but it's exam season. And we do not have it in us to do more on top of studying for our exams. Like reading a 500-page book. We just don't have the time. I'm sorry, guys. So our next two episodes are going to be bookish topics, and then we'll get back to the book reviews because our exams will be over at that time.
Yes.
So today we are going to be talking about our favorite books. I don't know. I feel like I don't think I have too much variety in my favorites. I feel like I'm like a cozy fantasy type of person.
Yeah, me too. I love fantasy. That's my favorite genre.
Same. But yeah, so do you want to start us off with your favorite books?
Sure. My favorite book of all time is probably Ari and Dante, Discover the Secrets of the Universe, which we've already talked about. But I think it is the cutest book. I think it is so beautifully written, and I can read it a million times. And I've read it so many times.
You have.
And it's my favorite love story I've ever read.
It is a really beautiful love story. And It's a beautiful character growth. That's such a good one. That's such a good favorite. My favorite book of all time. I don't think I've talked about this a lot on the podcast before, but I'm a huge Sarah J. Maas fan. I love her books. I am reading the Crescent City series for the first time ever. I'm on the first book. And I'm loving it, but I love ACOTAR. That's my favorite series by her, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and Throne of Glass. My favorite book of all time is written by Sarah J. Maas, and it is A Court of Mist and Fury.
Ooh.
That book has everything. It has all the creatures, the romance, the fantasy elements, the toxic ex situation. It has it's just a bit of suspense from what I remember. It's just so good. It is my favorite book of all time. I am such a huge Sarah J. Maas fan. I love her so much, and the fact that 2 new ACOTAR books are coming out soon. First one in October, which I consider a birthday gift because my birthday's in October.
Aww.
And then the next one in January. She's such a queen. I love her so much. So yeah, Court of Mist and Fury is my favorite. And to those of you who don't know about the Court of Thorns and Roses series, ACOTAR, I'm not going to tell you what the second book is about because obviously there will be spoilers. But the first book is about this girl named Feyre, and she lives in this forest, and she's a human. And then she kills a beast in the woods that ends up being Fae, and she gets tangled up into this Fae world. And a bunch of things happen. There's romance, there's a war, there's a crazy girl trying to control everyone, and there's trials. It's really, really good.
That sounds amazing. I really want to read them. They're on my to-be-read book. My to-be-read list.
Yes, and I've gotten so many people to read those books. Yes. I've convinced so many people, and they've read it, and they're like, I love this series so much. And I'm like, yes, I'm so happy. But, I've gotten so many people hooked on it just because it's, my favorite. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Anyway, what's your next favorite?
My next favorite, I think, would be The Secret History, which is...
Ooh, you've read that, multiple times.
Yes, I think I've read it 3 times.
I remember the first time you read it, you didn't really like it that much.
That's true. The first time I read it, I didn't really understand it. I was like, what the freak?
Yeah. I hear there's incest in that book, bro.
There is incest.
What?
Yeah, incest warning. There's a lot that happens in this book, but that is one of the reasons why I like it so much, because it's
the incest.
No. No.
Gotta love that incest,
no. Boo. We don't like incest. Incest is bad.
All jokes aside. It's true.
But there is incest in that book, and that's crazy. But all of the characters are so crazy, and that's what makes the book so interesting is that like none of the characters are good people.
Yeah.
Which like
You hate them all.
yeah, like it's kind of hard to like any of them because they're just so crazy and so morally like what are you guys doing and why? But that was whoa, I can't speak. That's what makes it such an interesting read because like you don't know what they're gonna do next, and you're just like following these incredibly insane people who are very selfish and don't really have morals and have a very twisted view of reality, and are very like just like focused on themselves, are very selfish, and you're just following them through this story as they do really insane things, and and you kind of just put yourself in their shoes and see the world through their eyes. And I really liked the main character. I thought he was really interesting and a little bit like relatable, I think, to a lot of people, because he was very much like a follower, and he really wanted like validation and acceptance, and that's why he did a lot of the things he did. And I think that's very relatable to most people because a lot of us are like
people pleasers.
Yeah, a lot of us really focus on validation and the way like we're very worried about how other people see us, and we just want friends. And the main character, I don't think he was a good person, but I think that there were a lot of traits about him that were relatable and that were like, whoa. And you kind of like think about like, what are the morally wrong things that I've done for validation or to get people to like me, or like what would I do, how far would I go? And it's just such an interesting book, and I love it.
That sounds really interesting. I mean, from what I've heard, there's mythology. Yeah. And it's like they're in support of Dionysus. They're in the cult of Dionysus and stuff, and like a murder happens or something like that.
Yeah, it's also a very good like aesthetic. Like it's a murder mystery, and it's like, I don't know, I just love like the setting that they're in. They're at like this college, and like they're in a mythology class, and they're learning Latin, and they're learning about like gods, and they are in a cult. Can I tell you like what happens? Can I spoil it?
You absolutely can. Okay, everyone, spoilers ahead, because I definitely want to hear what happens.
Are you ever gonna read it?
I don't know. I mean, incest just throws me off. I don't know if I really feel like reading about that. It only happens
at like the end. Like you only find out about it at the end.
I've always been on the fence about reading that book because like I love mythology, I love Greek myths, and I love whenever a book is like a murder mystery or like there's culty stuff, but I just don't know if I'll ever read it. It's just one of those books where it's like, I don't know if I'm too intimidated or what it is, but I don't think I'm ready for it yet.
That's okay. That's okay.
But I definitely want to hear what happens. Sometimes spoilers make me want to read the book even more.
Yeah. Wait, can I spoil like everything?
110%. Yes. Tell me all the lore.
Okay, so it starts with the main character, Richard. And Richard. And he lives in America somewhere. I can't remember. And his parents are very emotionally abusive. And he grows up like in a very bad house. Yeah. His parents hate him and they yell at him. They're emotionally abusive. He doesn't have a good relationship with them, and so he grows to hate himself, and he is a very kind of, how do I describe him? He has like almost like a boring personality because he doesn't really have passion for anything. He kind of does whatever his dad wants him to do. He's not able to make friends or put himself out there, or like he's you can tell he's like chronically depressed, and that he has a very like cynical view of the world and of himself. And his dad really wants him to go into medicine, so he just does what his dad wants him to do. He doesn't have a passion. He doesn't know, he kind of lives very passively and takes like a backseat of his life and just is like, okay, I'll go to medicine school. And he doesn't like it. And then he goes home for like reading week or something, and then he finds like a flyer for what university was it? I can't remember. Hampton College. And he really wants to go there, and he's like, I want to go here. and he tells his parents, and they get in a huge fight. And he ends up dropping out of medical school and going there anyways. And then at that school, he sees this like group of people. It was like 5 people. Henry, Bunny. They call him Bunny. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh.
Who else was it? Francis, and then the twins.
Are those the incest?
They're incestuous.
Oh, that's actually insane.
Yes, bro.
That's actually crazy, bro.
It gets more insane.
Oh, Lord.
And he sees them and he's like, whoa, they're so mysterious. What the heck? And then he asks people about them and they're like, yeah, they're really weird. They're in like Latin studies, but there's one professor and like they're very cut off from the rest of the college and like they're just really weird and like don't talk to them. Don't be their friend. And he's
like, I'm gonna ignore all those warnings and be friends with them anyway.
Yes, that's exactly what happens. He goes to their professor. What was his name? I can't remember, but he's important. And he's like, I really want to join your class. And he's like, well, I'm very, very selective. Like, I don't really accept new students. I'm sorry. And he's like, okay. And then he overhears this group of 5 in the library, and they're discussing Latin. And he, this is important. He really loves Latin. He knows a lot about it, and he finds that he actually is passionate about it and curious about it, and he wants to be in this class. And he goes up to them and he like gives them the answers, and they're like, whoa, you're so smart, how do you know so much about Latin? You should join our class. And they are able to convince the professor to let him join, and then he does. And then he kind of realizes like they become really good friends for a long time, and like they hang out all the time. They go to this summer house that they have. And then he kind of realizes their behavior is a little strange, and like they're sneaking around a lot. They're obviously not telling him something, and he realizes like he's not fully a part of the group. And he also realizes Bunny, he's like really annoying, he's really angry, and he has like a big personality, but they all kind of like accept each other anyways. And he kind of realizes like
it's not as like perfect as it seems in a way.
Like they're very strange, but he like pushes it aside because he really, really craves like acceptance so much. And then over Christmas break, he realizes like they go missing, and like he realizes that I forget how he finds out, but he finds out that they've like booked a one-way flight to another country, and like they've spent a shit ton of money, and he's like, what's happening? And then they come back, and then he realizes, I forget how he finds out, but he realizes that they killed someone, and he brings it up to them, and they're like, oh yeah. He brings it up to Henry, and Henry's like, yeah, I already know that you know. And then they explain to him that they were doing like these rituals to bring Dionysus to like summon him, and they were getting really like fucked up, taking a bunch of drugs, and like having an orgy basically.
Whoa.
But one night they actually succeeded, and well, we don't know if they actually did or if they were just really, really high and like hallucinating, but one of them hallucinated a deer running through the woods, and they were all chasing it through the woods, and then they all like come to their senses, and they've killed this man, and they're all covered in blood, and they're like, what do we do? And so they I think they just leave him there, and they just go back to the car, and they just drive away.
Whoa.
And
okay.
Bunny wasn't with them. They like stopped letting Bunny go do these rituals with them because he was like messing things up, and he was like really worried, and he didn't want to do it, and he had a very like childish personality, and they were just like, they didn't want him there. And they lied to him, and they're like, we hit a deer, and he didn't believe them, and he knew that they killed someone. And then Bunny started getting it like more and more emotional. He started talking about it in public. He started getting really, like, this was obviously affecting him a lot psychologically. So they're like, okay, we got to kill Bunny now because we can't have anyone to figure out. So they all band together and figure out how to... Including Richard. He just accepts it. He's just like, okay. And he goes along with it, and he helps them. They're trying to find ways to poison him. They're trying to find the best way to kill him until one day they wait. He goes on like a walk every single day, and they know his like route that he takes. So they wait until he comes, and then they push him off a cliff and they kill him. So it looks like an accident. And then they expect that people will find him right away, and that like it won't be a big deal because like, I don't know, like they'll just find it's like a hiking accident. But snow falls and he goes missing. They can't find his body, so it turns into this huge search that goes on for weeks and weeks until they finally find him. But by the time they find him, his death and his disappearance is like a huge public like thing, and there's huge search parties. It's on the news. So then it's like obviously Will Byers. Literally, and there is a big investigation, and they start like getting closer and closer to finding out that it was this group of people. Whoa. Until they get into a huge fight. They find out that like the relationships between them start getting more and more tumultuous. They find out that the twins are incestuous, and they all just accept it, and they're all just like, okay. Like Richard, it just accepts it. He's like, okay. They find out
if they had a child.
Literally, they find out that they're the twin. Well, I can't remember their names. I can't remember the names, but the guy was abusing the girl, and Richard was in love with the girl.
Yeah, okay. What? He's in love with someone.
And also, Francis was like hooking up with the guy twin, and I'm pretty sure he was also in love with Henry. He was also in love with Richard. I don't know. It was crazy. Like they had really complicated relationships, and they were fighting all the time. The girl went to live with Henry, and they were a couple for a bit.
Bruh.
And then Henry would not let the guy twin like see them because he was like abusive towards the girl, and one of them was like a really bad alcoholic. It was crazy. It just got crazier and crazier.
Everything was just blowing up in their faces.
Yeah. And then at the end, they are all like meeting up together and having this huge fight. And one of them had a gun and shot Richard. And none of them like cared. And the police showed up. And then Henry shoots himself. And that's the end.
Yeah. Did Richard die?
No, he survived.
So
he got
Henry
shot in, like,
died.
the leg. But yeah, Henry died.
Whoa.
And then that's how it ends. It was crazy.
That's insane.
It is insane.
It kind of... Some of those elements kind of remind me of the book If We Were Villains. Have you read that book?
Well, I haven't, but I want to.
You would love it. It has a lot of the same elements, except instead of it being like Greek mythology, it's Shakespeare. And they're all like, they perform like Shakespeare shows, and then like, you know, like a murder happens. Like one of the friends in the friend group dies, and then everything kind of just blows up.
That's so interesting. I would love to read that.
I have it. You can borrow it, but you'd love that if you liked the secret history. But
I did a terrible job at explaining the secret history.
I was thoroughly invested in that. Like, you did a really good job. Like, that sounds crazy.
It is crazy.
And that ending, it's like basically no characters grew at all as people, and everything just like blew up.
It's actually the opposite. They all get worse and worse until the end. Yeah.
That sounds really good, though.
But the writing is really good, and it's just like, it's
Donna
just so
Tartt is
interesting.
a really talented writer.
Yeah.
She has a really good writing style.
Yeah. And I've just never read like a book like that, and like I've rarely ever read like a story like that. Like normally stories like they have a climax and then they have like a resolution, but this one didn't have a resolution at all. It just kept getting worse and worse until the end.
That sounds really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that sounds so good. It's like, it's just crazy. Like, it's just a bunch of drama.
Yeah. It's just really messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it shows, and whenever stuff like that happens too, and it's like a murder happens, it really brings out like the true personality of the characters, because sometimes it'll make them like stronger friends, it'll give them a stronger bond, and other times it'll rip their friendship apart.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really kind of shows like how each individual handles it and handles the situation. Like it just makes it so much more interesting in the story.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a vibey read though. Like it sounds like the aesthetic is all there.
It is.
That sounds really fun. Oh my gosh, how do I even top that now? I literally can't. All right, well, my other favorite book is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
Ooh.
By Lewis Carroll. I really, really love the first one. I don't like Through the Looking Glass as much, but I love the first one. It's so wacky and weird. And the version I have, I don't know if all versions have this, but the version I have has illustrations and drawings.
That sounds so cool.
It is really cool. Of like the characters, the creatures, the Cheshire Cat, like all that fun stuff. And it's just, it makes almost zero sense if you think about it in like terms of plot. Like it doesn't follow the regular structure. It's this girl, she stumbles into this world, she follows a white rabbit, she stumbles into this world. A lot of the creatures in this world don't get along. There are like animals and creatures of every type. She's like eventually like wandering around, and then she comes across, I think it's like I can't remember if this is Through the Looking Glass or Wonderland. I'm trying to think, because I have an edition where it's both of them stuck together, and I read it in one day.
Oh my god.
But something happens. I think if I'm getting my information right, I might not be though, low-key. I really got to think before I speak here. Okay, I won't go into too much detail. I need to reread it, and then I'll do an update. But she eventually, all these adventures in like this Wonderland world, and she's kind of like in some danger because there's the Queen of Hearts, and she's like, you know, like I forget if they call her that in the book or not, but she's like crazy, obviously. Mm-hmm. And and Alice like gets in trouble, and then she ends up waking up, and it turns out that Wonderland was all just a dream in her head. I don't know. I loved it so much. And I remember it was like 5 out of 5 stars, like for me, because it was just like so weird. The plot didn't follow like regular plots in books, I think, because it was also an older book too. That was kind of like, you know, maybe one of the reasons, but I thought it was really, really good. And I liked that it wasn't too long. Like it was around 100 pages, which is really nice.
Yeah, I absolutely love Alice in Wonderland too. Like, it's one of my favorite like childhood stories that I've read when I was a kid. Not that like you can read it at any age. Like it's such a good book. But yeah, I need to reread it. Yeah,
because I remember I didn't like Through the Looking Glass as much because I thought the story made less sense, if that makes sense. But yeah, I love Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Do you have another book you want to talk about, or would you like me to talk about another one?
One of my other favorite books would be Song of Achilles, which we already have an episode on.
Same.
But yeah.
That was one of the ones I was going to talk about as well.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No. It's great that we have, like, some favorite books in common.
I feel like I've already, like, said everything, like, in the episode. I feel like, it's just
beautiful.
So beautifully written. Such an engaging story. I love Patroclus.
Period.
And
he's a king.
Love him. And, it's just another really, really good love story that is such a good depiction of love and very, very sweet, very beautiful, very sad ending, which I do love. A good ending. And another book would be the Red Rising series.
I want to read that so bad. You want to know something really cute?
What?
I was in Indigo, I think 2 days ago, and I was like,
we need to go to Indigo together.
100%. I have so many books that you need to pick up. You have so many books that I need you to pick up.
Yes.
If We Were Villains is one of them, because I feel like you'd love it. In The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I'm going to talk about. I have so many books that you need to read.
Yes.
So many.
I have books that you need to read.
Okay.
Including the Red Rising series.
Yes. I have the first book on my shelf.
Yes.
And I really, 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 really want to read it. So
podcast episode.
Literally.
Yes.
So I'm reading the first Crescent City right now, and then after that, like once after we do like the first Twilight episode, then I'm gonna read the second Twilight book, New Moon, and then after that I'm gonna start Red Rising.
Okay, we should read it at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I haven't read it in years, so like I remember a lot of it, but I don't remember a lot of it, you know?
Fair.
But I do remember it's really good.
Yes, and so the really, really cute thing that happened is I was walking in Indigo, and I was like, you know, being like, oh, this is Red Rising, like, but this is the third book in the series, Morning Star. This is the third book in the series. And I was like, oh, I really want to read it. And then this sweet older man comes up to me and he's like, it's such a good series. You should read it. It's so good. The first 3 are so well done. And he was like talking to me about it. I was like, that's so cute. And I was like, okay, I have to prioritize it now higher, because also like one of my favorite booktubers, she read it and she's like obsessed with it. So now I'm just in the Red Rising mood.
You know who else loves Red Rising?
Yeah.
Brittany Broski.
I love Brittany Broski. She also loves The Secret History.
Yeah, I feel like I am Brittany Broski.
Period.
Because we share the same favorite books.
Period.
And I love that.
Period. I love that. But
Period.
I definitely need to prioritize Red Rising more. I just keep on hearing more and more and more good things about it. And I've started getting into sci-fi. And so I feel like I'm ready for it. You know what I mean? It's not as intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do they get really thick? Yeah. But once you've read Sarah J. Maas, you're kind of used to reading thick books. All of her, like, the books she releases now are at least 800 pages long.
That's insane.
Yeah. The one I'm reading right now, 800 pages.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's really, really good. But, like, I'm like, girl, how do you have this much to say? Like,
literally.
Every book she, like, releases is in between, like, 300 to 1,000 pages.
How do you have that much motivation to just, like, write so much?
Yeah. It's so good. But, yeah. Okay. So... Wait, what were we talking about? We were talking about... Wait, how did we get here? We were talking about...
Red Rising.
Red Rising? But what... You were talking about... Yes, Red Rising being one of your favorite books.
Yeah.
Yeah, period.
The basic premise is this guy... Yes. What's his name?
Doesn't it start with a D?
Yeah. I can't remember.
It's... Darrow?
Darrow. Yeah. And the world is like, where are they? I think they're on Mars.
Yeah, it's like intergalactic. It's like in the outer space.
And it's similar to the Hunger Games with like the what are they called? I can't remember anything now.
Districts?
The districts, yeah. Where they're separated by color, and the gold are like the most elite and the most privileged, and then the red is like on the lowest color, kind of like District 12.
Yeah.
And he and his girlfriend ends up getting executed.
What?
Yeah. And then that is what inspires him to like
start like a movement type of thing. Yeah.
And he also, they try to execute him, but somehow he survives. Like, he pretends that he died, and he survives. And then he goes and infiltrates this, like, elite academy, and he disguises himself as a gold. Oh, wow. And then he goes through that, and it just, like, follows his journey. And it's crazy.
That's awesome. I need to read this series.
It's
like,
so
it's
good.
Really, really high on my priority list. Like, it's gonna be like the I'm reading this book, not the next book, but the book after that. It's high priority. That sounds amazing. Okay. Now for my other favorite book. I already kind of mentioned it. The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Oh my god, I cannot say enough good things about this book. It's a gay romance.
Aww.
And it's about this guy, and his name is Arthur, and he runs an orphanage for magical children. And there's a bunch of different types of magical children in the orphanage, but he considers them his kids. And Linus, he works for like the Department of Magical Youth, something like that. And he goes and investigates orphanages and see if they're operating properly, and writes reports on them. And Linus is sent to Arthur's because the upper management people are like, we haven't heard from him in a while, and we don't know what he's doing. So Linus goes to the island to investigate the orphanage and ends up, him and Arthur end up falling in love. And then Linus ends up, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but that's basically how it goes. And it's such a beautiful story, and it's so, like, it's a cozy fantasy. It really, when you're reading it, it feels like a warm hug. The kids are super cute. The romance is adorable. His backstory is crazy. Everything about the book I love so much, and the island itself is just so beautiful. So I think you'd really, really love the book because it really does feel like a warm hug. Like, after you read it, you just feel like you've been wrapped in a warm blanket of love. Aww. And it's like the sweetest thing. Like, I cannot say enough good things about it. And the second book I read it's not as good, but it is still really good because it's still cute, but the first book is the best. But it's so good. I highly recommend. To anyone who needs a little pick-me-up right now, I highly recommend The House in the Cerulean Sea.
That sounds amazing. I would love to read that.
Mm-hmm. And the cover of the book is gorgeous as well. It has so many beautiful calming colors on it.
Aww.
I cannot say enough good things.
Yeah, I definitely need to read it.
Do you have any other books you'd like to discuss?
Do I? I don't think so. Actually, wait. Six of Crows.
Six of Crows. I've heard so many things.
It's a trilogy, and all the books are so good.
Yeah.
I can't remember if, like, the whole trilogy is called Six of Crows or if it's just the first book, but, like, all three books are really good. And I need to reread them.
Isn't there also Crooked Kingdom, but that's a prequel?
Yes. I think
Duology? Or trilogy?
I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy.
Okay.
And I think, Crooked Kingdom is, like, the second book. I think. I could be wrong. But it's been, like, a few years since I've read it, so I really need to reread it. And I think you would really like it.
I think I would, too, because it's about a heist, right?
Yes. It's about this group of criminals. It's about, the main character is Kaz Brecker, and he's, like, this master criminal. And he's very, like, known for how, like, within the community of, like, criminals and, like, the kind of black market community, that he is, like, the best criminal, and he gets together, like, a group of people, and they are trying to do a heist. I think I can't remember where they're trying to do a heist, but they're trying to do a heist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That actually sounds really good. I've never read a heist book before.
It's so good. And it's also, like, fantasy, kind of. Like, they're in a fantasy world.
I love that.
It's really good.
That sounds really good. I have 2 more books I want to talk about.
Yes.
In the Company of Witches by Auralee Wallace. We already discussed her book, The Late Night Witches. That was our first book review.
Yeah.
But this is a whole other series. It's a duology so far. I don't know if she has plans to release another book. I would love her to, just because it ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. Both of the books in this series, though, 5 out of 5 stars. Like, the second book was just almost as good as the first, which is really rare.
Yeah.
Both 5 out of 5 stars. So the first one is In the Company of Witches, and the second one is When the Crow's Away. I loved both of them so much. It's about this girl. I forget her name, but she is a witch, and her aunts, who are also witches, run a B&B. However, she lost her husband, or her boyfriend, her husband. I think her husband. Like a little while ago, like a year ago, and she decided to give up her magic. Until one day, there is a death in her aunt's B&B. One of her aunts is a suspect, and she needs to investigate what actually happened. And she tries to not use her magic, but eventually she has to. And it's kind of like a lot of character growth, and it's like a murder mystery, and it's cozy fantasy, witches. It kind of gives Gilmore Girls mixed with practical magic, and it's really, really good. And the ending is so beautiful, it made me cry. But yeah, I think you'd really like that as well, because there's like a cat and there's a crow named Dog.
Oh.
And it's just so cute. So it's really, like, the ending got me in the feels, and the second book is really, really good as well. And it's like, I have really tiny paperback versions, and I think they're so cute to hold.
Oh, that's so real.
So yeah, and the covers are stunning, beautiful. Everything that you want whenever you pick up a witch book is in that book.
I would love to read that.
I think you'd really, really like it. And the last book I have to talk about is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Second book is coming out. It's called The Midnight Train. I think this month or next month. Ooh. But The Midnight Library is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. I thought it was really beautiful. It's about this girl. She's really depressed. And she tries to leave the world. Only to wake up kind of like in this library with all these books. And someone who looks exactly like one of her old favorite teachers is telling her, like, each book is a different life. And you can try out all these different lives and see which one you like best. And then she does that. And she goes from life to life, discovering all these things, meeting new people, stuff like that, learning things. And she ends up learning a really big lesson. And the character growth in this is beautiful. And it has such a good ending, such a beautiful ending. And it really makes you think after the ending. Like, the ending really, really makes you think. And it's one of those beautiful conclusions where it's like, you sit there for a few minutes just reflecting on what you just read and all of the lessons you could learn from reading the book and all of the lessons you have learned and the journey that you just went through with the character. It is amazing. So beautiful.
I would love
And there's a cat.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. But it's absolutely beautiful, and every life is like so different. And I just thought it was so interesting to read about. And the ending is so beautiful. I think that would be another book you'd read just because it's very philosophical. And I think you'd really appreciate that element.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. I love that. I would love to read that.
Yeah. So those are like my favorite books of all time. Of course, there are other books that I love, like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones and the Six, and Harry Potter books, and specifically Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire. And, you know, I could go on and on and on about the books that I've read and I've really, really loved. But those are my top books.
Yay.
And they're all, like, they're not that different from one another. Oh, I also love The Great Gatsby. Mm-hmm. But they're not that different from one another. They're all kind of like fantasy, cozy fantasy. But I think the one thing that they all have in common is that they all have good endings.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm a sucker for a good reflective ending. And a good ending in my eyes doesn't mean like everyone's happy at the end. It means what's best for the character and what's best for the way the story is developed. And I think that's something I really appreciate in books, whenever the ending really is good for the book and good for the character.
Yeah, I think I am too. I think I'm a sucker for morally complex characters, drama, world building, and just like interesting endings. Like, I love good endings, but I also love sad endings and like endings where characters die or where characters kill themselves. Like, that's very interesting. And yeah.
And I think people's favorite books can say a lot about them too. I think it can say if you're like a philosophical person, or, you know, if you're like, you like more kind of like history, or if you like more drama or more romance. I think it can really say a lot about you. And I think you have amazing book taste.
Thank you. You do too.
Thank you. I mean, we both love Ariane Dante and Song of Achilles. So. Yeah. But you have really good book taste, and
thank you.
Like, The Secret History does sound really interesting. I'm a bit intimidated to read it, so we'll see if I ever read it. I'll update you guys on the podcast if I ever read it. I'm just scared.
I don't know if you'd like it. I don't think you have to be scared of it. I don't know if you'd like it though. I think you might. I feel like I could see you being really mad at the characters. Yeah. I could see you like ranting about it.
Well, I mean, If We Were Villains, it kind of gives those vibes, and I love If We Were Villains. It's another really good one, and I think you'd love it. But it doesn't really have the best ending. It doesn't have a really good ending. There are a lot of sad elements, and it also kind of is a bit open-ended. So it's kind of like you interpret what you want the ending to be. It's crazy. I think you'd really, really like it. But I love it. And so I do like endings like that every once in a while. But I always just want what's best for people. You know what I mean? And
that's true.
That's like whenever a book ends and it's like everyone's dead, everyone's depressed. I'm like, no, like this is so sad.
Yeah.
But
it might hurt your heart a little bit.
Sometimes people have to die. Like in fantasy books when there's a war,
Mm-hmm.
not all of your characters are going to make it out, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, I like endings that are really like the best. And I do think The Secret History, that is a really good ending to the story though, because all the characters sounded so messed up that a messed up ending makes the most sense for the story.
Absolutely. Like there was no good ending.
Yeah.
And like even if it was a good ending, it wouldn't be a good ending because I don't think those characters deserved a good ending.
Yeah. And it also shows their chaotic nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you should read it because I would love to do a podcast episode on it because I could talk about it so much.
It might take me time, but I will keep it on my radar. I'm not fully, you know, taking it out of my mind.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm really excited for whenever I'm done my TBR because I'm going to go on like a full book shopping spree whenever I'm done.
I'll go with you.
Period. And we'll bring people to carry our books for us.
Yeah.
Because we're too good to carry them ourselves.
Yeah.
Full shopping day. I already know. It'll be a full day of like just walking around the Indigo being like, what do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Oh, I've read this book. I've read this book. This book was good. This book wasn't good. It's going to be like, we're just going to be walking around. It's going to be like show and tell.
Like, I want to get all of Sarah J. Maas's books.
Oh, yes. You just said exactly what I wanted to hear.
All of the books that you want me to read. I really want Sharp Objects.
Ooh.
Because that's one of my favorite TV shows, and I really want to read the book because apparently it's as good as the TV show.
But were there any other books that you wanted to talk about?
I think I already mentioned some of these in like the first books that we read, but like Watership Down, Percy Jackson, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I loved hearing about those. You guys should go listen to that episode. That episode was books that made us love reading. And yeah, we had another really good conversation there. But yeah, I think that's all. Anything else to add?
No.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. Sorry it wasn't the usual book review, but we hope you enjoyed this all the same. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and we'll have our comments open for this episode, so make sure to leave a nice comment. And if you're on Spotify, make sure to leave us a rating and follow us on Spotify and recommend the show to people that you think would enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, guys.
Bye.